Hi there, it's Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie. This month you'll find that my colleague Amy has set this fabulous sketch and I was totally inspired to give it a go myself. So I'm using the Vicki Boutin Where To Next range, and I've picked out all the papers and ephemera all in like pinks, orange, yellows with a touch of black. So I'm just going to reduce the colour palette for this layout. So the sketch had 3 horizontal areas. I'm actually turning it 90 degrees and I'm going to work with 3 columns, I've decided. So that's what I'm thinking about now. The background paper that I've got there is from the Vicki Boutin range, called The View Here, and on the other side you might recognise it, it's got a massive great sun on. I think you might see it later on when I cut it down. So I'm just going through all the bits and pieces that I have from this range, and I will say there are loads on offer. I think there is chipboard and there is various packs of ephemera, and then you've got some really thinner pieces. I think it said something like papery pack, and it came in a box and there was lots of bits and pieces in there, but they are more like paper. Some of them are sticker backs as well, so lots of different choices of what you can use. I realised there was quite a few foodie items in this travel range, so actually that was the next thing that inspired me to hone down what I was going to use. And then at this stage I didn't actually even have any photos printed. Had some ideas of what I wanted to use, but I actually hadn't gone onto the computer to find them. I was hoping that my memory would be able to remind me what year they were taken. But I don't know about you, but with COVID, I seem to have lost a couple of years somehow. And in fact, it was a trip that we took when the COVID restrictions were relaxed. So I've got an idea, but I do actually find the photos eventually. So I was looking at a top and a bottom on each of these columns, if that makes sense. At the moment, I've got a couple of chipboard frames there. I've got a couple of like journaling cards. They've come from a patterned paper from the 6x8 pad, but I've decided I'm going to put a long piece of paper behind each one so that I can actually work off that and stick everything to it. And it also becomes clear to me as I'm starting to cut these strips of paper that I actually don't want them to be too wide. I want there to be a bit of white space around the sides like there is in Amy's sketch. So I've moved a little bit further forward and I've decided what sort of size that I'd like my photographs to be. So I've just measured a piece of scrap card and I've printed my photos. I do them myself on a selfie, so it means that I can actually get them literally to the size that I want. I've printed 4, but I'm actually only going to use 3. I couldn't make up my mind which 3, and once I'd found them on the computer I wasn't going to lose them again, so I printed 3 straight away. And I'm just trimming them down. I like to leave a little bit of a white border when I can. I just think it makes them pop when you add them in. So I brought the embellishments back in again and I'm just trimming that down a little bit there. Sorry that it's off camera. It was just one of the Word die cuts. I've just brought in the paper with the tags on and I realised that my photo would sit nicely on a tag. So off camera I cut out 3 in colours complementary and I've stuck them underneath the photographs. And suddenly I feel like this is actually coming together. I like the movement with the photos top, bottom, top. I think that works really well with the columns. And I had portrait photos. So they've all got food in them. If you know me online or you follow me online, you'll know that I do like something to eat and drink, and there's definitely quite a few holiday photos of food. So that's what a lot of this is going to be about. So I'm just going through, this is chipboard pieces, and I've got the stickers as well, and I'm looking for anything in the same colourways that I can tuck in around the photographs. I'm already thinking that the bottom left I've put an ice cream and a tub of ice cream and a donut on there. The bottom right is definitely got weather at the moment. It's got a sun and a cloud on top of a chipboard frame. So they're going to be just like embellishment clusters. I'm not going to add any more or no photographs or journaling to either of those. The journaling is going to mainly go on the top central card. That's how my mind is working at the moment, but I really like that cocktail. So that's definitely going to stay there. The photo below that, I'm holding the biggest glass I've ever held with a drink in. Literally took 2 hands to hold it. So when I saw that big cocktail die cut, I thought that's perfect. That's something that really needed to be used. So as I never liked anything to miss out, I'm going through all the pieces that are similar colours and seeing where I can slot any of these in. Because there's plenty of ephemera in this range, there's lots to choose from, and there's tickets plus holiday themed things and travel themed, and obviously food on top. So lots of choice for me. So as I say, this is Amy's monthly challenge for July. I would really recommend you take part. If you do, make sure you add your layout to the correct album on our Facebook group, because there is a prize. It's picked at random, but it's 1,000 Magpie points for you to spend in the shop. So it's well worth doing. And I'd go for it. I mean, I've turned this sketch around. You can use it any way it inspires you at all. So I'd get crafting with that if I was you. Also, do check out this Vicki Boutin range. I think it's really versatile, beautiful colours in it. As I say, lots and lots of different types of ephemera that you could use as well. So there's this and lots of other current ranges on the Hey Little Magpie shop. So if you make yourself a brew, have a seat and do check those out. I've decided I wanted to add a little bit of pattern paper behind my photographs. So I'd already picked out the papers that went with the colourways at the beginning. So I'm just bringing in the 6x8 ones now and adding a couple of pieces behind each photo. Also having another look at the chipboard, see if there's any pieces. There's some really nice golden coloured hearts there. I think they would really work. So it's just making sure I've worked my through. And I just don't want to miss anything. So I found the word moments on the chipboard sheet, and I think enjoy moments definitely goes with these foodie pictures. I found another cocktail and it's on the acetate paper clips. That's a contradiction, but you know what I mean. And I've added that to go with the other drink as well. So I'm feeling like everything's got something on it. I do apologise for the shine on the photo at the top right. I had a bit of a clean of my desk, would you believe it? And I managed to move one of the lights, so hopefully I will fix that later on. I also found a couple of aeroplanes, and I thought, well, actually, that might go really well with the on the weather 3x4 that I've got going on there. So I've just cut that off the sticker sheet with the background on top, but then I found one on the paper. So I did trim that by hand to go on that bottom card. So now that I'm really happy with the way things are looking, I'm actually thinking of sticking it together. So I've got my big We Are Memory Keepers punch there, so I can punch the holes in the tags. And I've got some double-sided tape there, and I'm going to work on each one. So I'm using them as 6 little embellishment squares at the moment. So I'm just actually sticking the bits down that I really like so that I can actually add them then to the background paper and get this, well, nearly when I say nearly finished, if you've watched my videos before, it absolutely takes me ages. But I do enjoy the process, and I use it as a little bit of therapy, particularly after a long day at work. So I'm quite happy to take my time a little. I just put some talc there, so any of the pieces that have sticky back, if I don't want them to stick, I just brush a little bit of talc on the back just to stop them sticking until I'm ready. So I'm just working on the last few bits, just getting them into place, adding some foam pads. That poor little tray there is full of all my offcuts of foam pads, so I'm on a mission to use them up because they're so untidy. But I don't want to throw them out. So I'm then going to stick the 3x4s to the long strips of from the 6x8 paper pad, so that they can overlap a little bit, and I'll be ready then to put them onto the base layer. There's a couple of bits of cutlery that I did cut out that's just from some metal dies that I own. I thought they went really well with the foodie theme, so I added them in just to give you more of a food vibe. So I've stuck another layer under that photograph as well, probably because I thought there wasn't enough going on. And I'll get that journaling card. I will do that journaling right at the very end, so it won't get missed out. But I wanted that cocktail glass to go over the top of the photo and literally join them together to make it a little bit more like a complete column of interest rather than individual cards. I wanted there to be that little bit of interaction as such between the top bit and the bottom bit of each of the columns. So I would really recommend, if you don't mind, subscribing to Hey Little Magpie on their YouTube channel, and find us on Instagram as well. And if you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up as well. I'm just gutting the background paper there because I really like the colourways of it, and I do think I'll be using it again. And then I'm going to add some double-sided tape, and then I'll add my white cardstock over the top. And I'm putting the tape right on the inner edge because I'm actually then going to take this away and run round it a couple of times on the sewing machine, which I've done off camera. So I didn't want the needle to get all gunged up, so that's why the tape was much further in. So I think that I'm pretty much nearly finished, but I like to double check that I've not missed anything, whether it be a bit of ephemera or a sticker or a bit of chipboard. I like to just go through, see if there's any other pieces that can be added. And there we are. I found a geotag that fitted with the colourways. So I brought in some children's craft foam that I've got in my stash, and I'm going to use that as just one big piece on the back of each bit so that I can get it raised off the base layer. It's too many foam pads otherwise for me, and too much mess. So I like the way I've not got them in a straight line as such. I'm just using the ruler to get the centre one into place, and I will get that stuck down. So here's the finished image. Thank you so much for watching. There's some close-ups of it too. Do take part in this challenge. It's a really great one. And we hope to see you here on YouTube real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.